Okay. Um, so good would be where you bring people back to center. This thing just like fell over and then music started playing. Oh wow. Um, that was group therapy, by the way. Above and Beyond Group Therapy. Amazing podcast. So bringing people back to center, that's my concept of good. It's not, unfortunately, there's a big issue here, which is that on Earth right now, being at center, being a scientific person who recognizes that this is all kind of made up, it's all kind of BS, it's actually incredibly painful. And I don't honestly know what the solution is. I mean, like, I want to be like, yes, we should go to center. We should try and all contain at least one understanding that integrates with all other understandings, which would be, of course, science. Um, but having this understanding and being the only one is mind-numbingly painful. It is, I can't stop myself personally. And I guess my hope is that you can't stop yourself, and eventually everyone ends up here. That way I don't have to be the only one in the most beautiful place alone. You know? That's how I like to think of it, because it's significantly more beautiful as an individual, and that's how I got here is being an individual. It's a significantly more beautiful viewpoint. It's just very, very lonely, unless everyone else joins in which case there would always be a place that we all agreed was home, that we could all gather, we could all connect. Everyone would be a friend, everyone would be family. It's pretty doable. Um, so helping people at least see the pathway between all of their fallacies and all of their character and this place where they're really just clay, just nothing more than a random, not quite random, but an arbitrary set of associations between colors, sounds, smells, various senses, feelings, perspectives. I think that's pretty much one of the most good things a person could do, and I guess this gets into superfluous morality. This is the most common form of morality, and this is why evil exists, in my opinion, is that it's really fragrantly annoying, really just stinky annoying. It's the smelly guy on a bus right next to you, just peed his pants on you, annoying. It's when people are moral by denying their own being and denying who they are and denying that they have vices and denying that they enjoy, I don't know, drugs, sex, alcohol, angry music, things like that, like basic things which are just so blatantly enjoyable, specifically sex and drugs. Like when people are, I don't know, too high and mighty for it, it it just makes morality look like bad. It makes morality look bad. I mean, it's not true morality, it's superfluous morality. Another one people do is, not eating meat or not shopping at corporations. Well, I'll get into how those, in their inverse, are positive things, but as themselves alone, you not shopping at a corporation literally does nothing but maybe slow it down a negligible amount, and in the end, they will just have more of an excuse to screw people over in other countries, to further enslave other people because they need to keep their profit margin. There's no, you obviously don't understand business if you think that not shopping at a corporation will do anything, because really what they're going to do is someone's going to be like, hey, our profits are down, do what you have to do, and that person will be like, well, let's go start a war, you know, because that's what they have to do, that's their job. And anyone who says that they're just doing their job, to me, is a very, very bad person. I've heard a lot of people say that, I've heard a lot of cops say that, heard a lot of teachers say that there are very few tortures which I feel aren't suitable to a person who says they're just doing their job. Because it being your job is no excuse. It really isn't. At least, it is an excuse, but to say it like that. And I'm sorry if that was a little heavy, but it being your job, you're working for bad people. You're working to enslave other people, essentially, to put them in a series of debts, which they must pay off by working unfair conditions. You know, if that's just your job to do that to people, well, that doesn't justify it. You know, like, and to think you're justified, that's another reason that morality gets. That's another reason evil exists, is that these people consider themselves moral. And many people, superfluous morality. And many people do things like this and they'll consider themselves moral, and it makes moral just look annoying. Like it's just a high and mighty, head up the butt, you know. It's just putting yourself on a pedestal kind of thing. Morality is much more centered. It's much, you know, it doesn't, you don't have to really deny yourself of things that you can control and enjoy. Oh, as I was saying, yeah, so not shopping at corporations, not eating meat, you know, it doesn't slow down the industry at all. But in their inverse, what you end up doing is what I consider to be actually pretty good morality. Helping those who need help. So small businesses. If you don't shop at Starbucks, but instead you go to a small local coffee shop, you're helping support someone and something that needs your help. Or, you know, if you go out and help people that need your help, and I don't mean, and when I say help people, I mean help them come back to center. You know, help them integrate with everything, help them be strong. But once again, if no one is at center, you wouldn't really help them by bringing them there. So it's kind of like it's hard. It's difficult. It really drives me insane because you have to somehow get everyone to move to center at the same time. It's hard. Anyways, helping small businesses, helping, you know, local, if you really want to help the meat industry, buy Happy Meat. That's a significantly better solution than not buying meat, because then you'll be supporting the growth of an industry that counteracts the other industry, rather than just ignoring the situation, essentially, is what you're doing with your money. Misplaced love, as I've said, is basically when you're super supportive of things without really taking into account whether or not they should be supported. I've done it a lot. Men, we do it a lot with women. A lot of women really need to be chastised for being rather selfish or shallow, you know, for investing more in things that actually, you know, in face paint and cloth than they do in their own intelligence or strength or wit or philosophy, you know, things which I personally value and I think are actually incredibly value. A lot of men are, you know, approving of women and loving of them regardless of whether or not they exemplify these qualities. And that leads to a lot of kind of dumb women, unfortunately. And I know I'm not supposed to say those words together, but there are a lot of women who are pretty dumb. And there's also a lot of men who are pretty dumb. It's just, there's also a lot of men who aren't. And also a lot of women who aren't, I guess. I hate to say it, but it's just, and I'm like, a lot of women just don't have to be smart. That's another video. But if there's people who are approving of you, and a lot of men, I'm one of them, I've been totally approving of women just because I like them, because I'm a guy, because I look at them and they make me happy. And of course I want them to be happy because it makes me happy, you know? But you have to be stronger than your emotions, or else you'll be part of approving of something, loving something that should not be loved. At least not in that way. Three-parter. Dang. Might as well be.